Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for attending today's meeting and listening to some of the concerns we have here in District 6. The following video is a collection of pictures and videos that my son and I took driving up and down Alexander Drive over a period of about 30 minutes. And while this is not a comprehensive list of concerns we have, it does represent a quick snapshot into some of the issues we're facing here in District 6. At best, I think you could agree that some of the photographs are surprising and at worst, shocking. Let's take a look and see if you agree. The building you see here is a tire shop. I don't think you're going to find one like this on Garth Road. This truck is dilapidated, and you can see that the tires are flat and dry rotted. It's been out there a while. Now this, what you see here, is a couple of folks that are living out of their cars. If you look in between the cars, you'll notice a bowl on the ground. And to the left of the van, there is a bag of cat food where they've been feeding the cats. And as you can see, the overall state of disrepair is staggering. This is located in the parking lot of the Bay Plaza. This building here is vacant and run down. This building is the same. Another vacant building. Another vacant building. You can see in this building right here that the windows are broken. Nobody's been in there for a long time. This place right here is pretty rough looking. It looks to be like a former service station. I wonder if the fuel tanks are still in the ground. This is the old hardware store. We have a razor wire around it. This is the vacuum shop. I'm not sure if it's still in operation. Now this building here has lots of issues. It's total disrepair. As a matter of fact, it doesn't look like the roof is going to hold out much longer. And hell, that one just has fallen apart. Graffiti on the park benches. This is the church that is in the storage parking lot. As you can see, there is razor wire around the back of it. Here we have the General Walk, one of the very few restaurants in the area that is not a Mexican restaurant. Now this building right here, this building, I can't count the number of code and ordinance violations here. I'm pretty certain semi-trailers are not allowed to be next to buildings, not to mention the sofas that are underneath it and the dry rotted wheels. Pretty sure that's not code. This next little short video is very disturbing to me. This is what I would call shocking. This is actually the rear of a daycare facility here on Alexander. Let's take a look at this. You can see all the trash along the fence. The fence is totally just down. The middle of it has all kind of trash and debris here. And they do manage to fence off a small area where the kids play, but I'm betting that's not code. Some pictures of the hospital here where it's all fenced. Very large eyesore. Not sure what this used to be, but it's vacant. This place right here is a drug haven for a long time. Those buildings have been abandoned forever. Another vacant building. Another vacant building. This is Bay Plaza. This place is a haven for the homeless and drug activity. The vast majority of Bay Plaza is vacant. As you can see here in this picture, the two cars we saw earlier where the people were living out of their cars is there. That whole corner of Bay Plaza is vacant with the exception of Fuller's. Here the roof is in very bad state of repairs. A lot of the trim has come off. Another vape shop. I think there's like 3 vape shops within 100 yards of each other. Another vacant building. I'm going to go out on a limb right here and say that if I had to make a guess that there was probably somewhere between 15 and 30 vacant buildings along Alexander Drive. I know that sounds outrageous, but you know, if I was a gambling man, I'd stick with that number. Here we have a tattoo parlor, piercing. vape. It's purple. We have a lime green building here, orange buildings, green buildings. I mean, although I do love D&D tacos, it is very pink. Bay Plaza has a lot of the parking lot is in incredible disrepair. A lot of the curbs along the street around Bay Plaza are in very much disrepair. Willing to bet that none of that's code. A lot of the buildings need a coat of paint. In truth, a coat of paint would go a long way for some of these buildings. Trash is gathered up in places it ain't supposed to be. Here we have an example of campers on the same slab as a gas station. And here is a car wash where it's so out of any kind of maintenance has been performed on it. It's literally falling apart. Security fencing, more razor wire, more security fencing. This is what happens in an area where nobody feels safe. A lot of the advertising signs are broken and in disrepair. Our utility boxes are not painted like everybody else's. And when they are, they just throw some paint on it, like this one here. And if you look right next to that, shockingly, there's a big hole in the ground with an exposed electrical wire just laying out there. I mean, it's hard to get excited when the bank doesn't even take, seriously. It's, how it looks. Ladies and gentlemen, there are quite a few of us that no longer feel safe in our own homes with the continued gunfire and other criminal activity that's happening at Roseland Park. A lot of the signs are used as target practice, and it happens often enough that it's made the newspapers. In the next slide, you can see where the stop signs have been shot up as well. And in the background, people's homes are there. I'm surprised nobody's been shot yet. Other people come into the park late at night and rev their engines and do donuts in the boat ramp parking lot. Here, you can see where a sign was shot yet again, and the trajectory of the bullets are right in the pathway of other people's homes. Personally, I think it's time that a few very simple and inexpensive measures be put into place to stop this kind of activity at night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all again for coming to our meeting and listening to our concerns, of which you can see that we have many. Our homes are broken into, our cars are vandalized and often stolen, and few people seem to be held accountable. Our businesses are in a state of disrepair, and many of the buildings are vacant. The homeless use them as havens for drugs and other illicit criminal activity. A lot of us don't feel safe in our homes. We've stood by and watched a lot of Baytown grow and prosper, and it feels a lot like District 6 has been forgotten. Respectfully, District 6 doesn't seem to resemble anything in the strategic plan for the city. All of us here understand that none of these issues will be fixed overnight. They'll take time. And in the end, it's our hope and desire to build a relationship with the city to help get these things done. Thank you all again.